Hello, welcome to World Music for the summer of 2015. My name is Ted Nichols, and I will be describing a little bit about the course and Canvas for those who have never used it. If you look in here, you've got your navigation on the left-hand side. This will be assignments. This will be the home. Home is where we are now. We have some discussions, which I'll get into a little bit later. Here will be your grades. Here are the people in the class. Here are the pages. These will be your files. The syllabus is here. Modules is a very important one. We'll look at that very quickly. If you look under modules, you can see that we have elements here, and we have concert reports and presentations. So concert reports and presentations are part of the assignments that you'll be doing. I basically set this up like a web page. So if you're here in this, if you click on the elements, this is going to tell you everything about the first section, which is basically the first 2 or 3 days of the course. If you click on that, it will open up as a web page. And you can look in here and see different things. These are the PowerPoints of these different chapters for this first section, which is basically a little bit about music and a little bit about music theory and how we'll look at the theoretical aspects of music as we go through. It's really not a musical course in that sense. If you look over here, here's a few more links here. And we'll look at the first one. The first one is concert reports. It will describe your concert report a little bit, the same way with the presentation. I would read these. I'm certainly not going to read them. And this is a little bit about your discussion. And this is about the master class, which is a very important situation, which we'll do. Basically, I'll do it like on Monday and Wednesday of the first week. We will gradually wean off of the master classes unless we're doing presentations or talking about things. In the beginning, the master class is used sort of like this to tell you kind of what goes on. Here are some links that are a little bit more in depth. If you look at this is a concert report. This goes in how to do the concert report. You're going to look at what the people are doing, and you're going to talk about it like you're learning in the course. So you'll learn something about a certain type of music, and you will include that when you look at this report. So if it was a Native American video, you would talk about Native Americans like we do in the book. We don't do Native American in this particular course, but so you're going to talk a little bit about what kind of performance it was. Was it something that's a real life institution, which really isn't a musical performance? So if it's celebration in Indonesia, then it really isn't a concert like we have. Then you'll talk a little bit about what does a performer do. There's a performer in all of it, but they're certainly not looked at. It wouldn't be like watching a band or Michael Jackson or something. So then you can also look at, if we go back to the link again, and if we looked at presentations, you will do a final presentation in the class where you will choose a topic and present it in class. You'll also do an overview, which I will check for sources. You'll hand in the sources in the MLA format, which we'll talk about a little later. We'll talk more about this in the master class. So this is one of those things that we'll talk more about, but you will have a presentation. You'll need to choose a topic fairly quickly. So if we go back to home and we look in here, this thing here is going to be a lot like like I said, I'm a web designer, so this is how this goes. This really tells you how the course is set up and how that we work on these modules, okay? So if you wanted to go to look through modules without going, there's one way you can do it is this way. If you clicked on elements, it's going to come up to the elements module. If I go back, the second one we do is Africa, which includes 2 of these. So there's 2 in this. You go to Africa here. So I need to publish that. That's not published yet, so we'll go back. I haven't published Africa yet because we haven't finished None of these are published, so none of this is going to come up until we do it. So you know where the modules are, which are here, and these are the ones that you can look at in here. This is a schedule. Okay, so if we look at this schedule, this kind of gives you a rough idea of where we are. In the summer, I am fairly close to being on track, although we may be a little bit off on the schedule. But this tells you what we're doing, and you can go to the elements by clicking this. A lot of this is like a web, but you're going to read 5 chapters in this section here. Sounds like a lot, but it's not that bad here. So you can go to the calendar, and if you click on the calendar and go to June, you can start to see things coming due. This is another way to check where you're going. In every section you will have an exam, a concert report, and then you'll have discussions in some sections, and you'll have sign-ups for things in the very beginning. So every one you'll have an exam plus a concert report. You'll also have 2 discussions, of one of we'll get right started in, of where you're going to look up something, and I'm going to click on the discussion tabs in a second. So this gives you a little bit about what you're going to be doing. Let me go back to the courses again, and you go back to your course this way, or you can just go back. The other thing you'll be doing is you'll be doing collaborations. I can't access it in this point. I will go back. I'll get out of here. I'll leave the student view in a second. The other thing you can do is you can look at the syllabus. That's a PDF. You can look at that and read through that. And this kind of shows you some things that's going on in here. This is like the stuff that I've already put in. Let's leave the student view. Get back to my personal view here. So if you go back to the collaborations now, you should be able to sign up for a master class of what you need to do. You'll go here and you'll just put your name in. This is like a wiki, so I could put my name in here. I'm not going to do it. And then you were signed up for that time. And I have 3 now. 3 times available. We can change these. We don't have to do all 3. It's a lot better for me if we just do 1 or 2 of them, but I know that this is more in the summer. It's a little freer than it is the rest of the year. So that's a quick overview of the class. So I'm going to upload this now on YouTube so that you can access this, and I'll put this right in the first section for you. I'll be seeing you on Monday.